Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to D-Box Chatter. I'm your host, Alexander Toth. I'm joined today by a special guest. He is the traveling golfer, and his name is Claudio DiMarchi. Claudio, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, Alex, it's great to be with you, and thanks for having me on the next tee.
Well, if we got a lot to talk about, but first things first, I'm looking over your one shoulder, and admittedly, everybody, I have been to Claudio's place. I'm seeing fly rods, I'm seeing a fly fishing creel, and I can't remember, is that a char up there, or what do you have mounted up there?
That's a 6.5-pound rainbow. Was not caught on a fly. It was caught with an ultralight spinning outfit that he and I had a relationship for 45 minutes in a very small stream with a 2-pound or 3-pound test line way back. And unfortunately, as soon as I got him out of the water, he was dead, flat, stone, hard, cold. So I wasn't about to leave him behind. I took him straight to the taxidermist, and he and I have had memories forever now.
Yeah, he's a beautiful fish. And I mean, you live in an area, without really disclosing where you are, I mean, you live in an area where there's all kinds of great fishing opportunities, especially on the fly rod. There, with all these small little creeks and streams that you have there. What's your favorite quarry up there?
Oh, well, there's all kinds of trout up here. Speckles have to be my favorite. They're the most beautiful. I have a stream 10 minutes away that I don't think the trout like me anymore, but I let most of them go, and they're there to, hate me every time I come by. But it is a great pastime, and it's great having it close by. And we have lots of golf up here too, so.
Yeah, it's not too bad for a golf-rich environment. There's you have oh my God, just close to your place, you have what, 2 or 3 courses, like within what, 10-15 minutes of your house?
Well, the course I play at is about 3 minutes from my house.
And where do you play at, for those listening?
Bateau Creek. Which now we've disclosed that I'm up near Collingwood.
Oh shoot! I guess we just sort of kind of blew that. Well,
the pretty river is my favorite little stream.
Oh. And you know what? I can't agree with you anymore. There is no. I mean, they say that there's no such thing as ugly trout, and I believe that. I firmly believe that. But you know what? Nothing beats a speck, or for those listening, if you know them as brook trout. We're talking about brook trout here. They are just their markings, especially in the fall. I love their markings in the fall. They get that spawn. They get really bright.
Yeah. And while we're talking about favorites, I trout season just opened this Saturday, and I avoid all the chaos in the popular spots. But the Beaver River, or not the Beaver, sorry, the Big Head in Meaford is probably my favorite. If I'm going to go looking for some bigger fish, last year, I think my biggest one was 5.5 pounds on a spinning rig MEPS. And that's probably fly fishing you're good at. Spinning is probably what I'm better at. But you're going to teach me this year, right?
I am going to teach you. And you know what? I would love to have you out on the boat if I could get you down to Niagara and take you out for some Lake Ontario salmon too, if you'd be interested in that. So
can do.
So we're gonna sort of kind of break into golf now, I guess. So let's hear what traveling golfer is all about. For those of you that don't know who the traveling golfer is, who is Claudio DiMarchi, and what is the traveling golfer in a nutshell?
Well, first of all, we should tell everybody that whatever we talk about and destinations that I talk about can all be found on travelinggolfer.net. That is a website and I guess it's a blog that I established back in 2006. And basically, it's an online library of information for people planning on going on a golf vacation, looking for ideas. There is advertising on there, but I don't sell any trips, and I'm more than happy to help people out if they're looking for some advice. If they can connect with me, then I have no problem sharing some ideas.
And and I mean, like your background, Claudio, through the years, as far as travel goes, extends way back. I mean, it goes back to the Toronto Golf and Travel shows that you, like you were like the guy once upon a time, right?
I'm still a guy, man.
Sorry, my apologies. You're still the guy. He is the guy.
In my mind, I am the guy. But yeah, I had black hair when I started, when I got involved. I was the main salesperson, business development person for the golf shows, Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. And I got to meet a lot of great people. And at some point, I got hired on by the state of Mississippi for a long time, 16 years. And that basically launched me in a whole different direction. I pretty much helped the state of Mississippi get into golf tourism.
Wow.
And that became a niche that I spread information and knowledge to other areas in North America. And I pretty much worked for everybody in South Carolina, including Myrtle Beach Golf Holidays, Hilton Head, Charleston, and then we developed the little known area called the Mountains to Midlands Golf Alliance in the west end of the state. We're right near Augusta, which is Aiken, and that whole area. And that went on for that too was a 15, 16-year program that basically put those out of the way places on the map. And, so people don't have to go to the same old places and find something new and different cultures and all that kind of stuff. So it was good, but that's, pretty much worked for many other regions, states, not on the same extent as Mississippi and South Carolina, but that led me into, the Mississippi part especially led me into worldwide travel.
Wow.
One time the tourism director and the person that I worked with for the whole 16 years in Mississippi, we went to China to a golf tourism convention.
Oh, how was that?
Well, it was quite an experience. Not my first time to Asia. We'll get into that in a sec. But when I came back, I told the tourism director that if he thought there was any hope in hell that anybody from Asia was coming just to Mississippi, that wasn't ever going to happen. So we had to bring Memphis and New Orleans into the picture. And we did that and introduced Jazz Blues Golf Holidays, where people could fly internationally into two major centers of Memphis, New Orleans, go through the state from one way or the other, but they'd have, an entry and exit point, and such a good time in between.
That's amazing. So, okay, I'm going to put you on the hot spot for a second here because you have a lot of experience with Mississippi. Out of any of the courses that you played in Mississippi, what was your favorite? What was the standout for you in Mississippi?
There are several great courses, and if you look at them just from a courses standpoint, most people would go to like the Beau Rivage because it hosts the senior PGA Tour for the longest time. But there's one golf course Davis Love designed, Shell Landing. It is a great course. There's no denying that. But the people that run it set themselves and the whole experience above the rest. And Kenny Hughes is one of the owners, and him and I have become friends over the years. And I have no problem telling that to his face. Okay, there's great courses all over Mississippi and even up at Old Waverly that hosted the Ladies US Open years ago, and I birdied the 18th just like Julie Inkster did.
Nice.
But Kenny just sets the standard for quality and friendliness, and it exudes throughout the whole staff. So that's my number one choice. I will always go back there first.
Excellent. And you know what, you touched on a very good point, as far as golf courses and traveling, or, whether it's a resort, a standalone golf course, that friendliness goes a long way in determining, a user's experience. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's, you and I have both been around long enough and have had many experiences, and you go to some place that you think is, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing. And all of a sudden you get treated like, not like your dog would treat you.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And then you just say, well, the course was great, but I wouldn't come back here because those people are jerks.
Yeah, it's almost a letdown. It ruins the experience, right?
Yep.
I could have had that, after 48 years of looking forward to Cherry Hill playing there. And if it would have been, if I would have been treated crappy there, I would have been like, well, that was, a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
So now we're going to stick to North America here for the time being. You just recently came back from a little bit of a jaunt after 2 years of COVID, not being able to travel. And I mean, that must have been really hard on you, not being able to travel over the last 2 years. So what was it like getting back on the road again, so to speak?
Well, it wasn't exactly 2 years. I did get to sneak away last fall for a couple of weeks into the Czech Republic, which was an absolutely amazing experience. And I'll say that for anybody who goes to Europe and doesn't go to the Czech Republic, they don't know what they're missing. And, put those thoughts of needing to have an ocean on your golf course out of your mind and just do this, and you will not be disappointed. Yeah, but yes, I did just return from a little bit of I'm not going to call it whirlwind, but we were invited down to Richmond, Virginia. And then we extended that down to Williamsburg, which has got to be one of the quaintest spots along the Atlantic seaboard. Well, maybe just inland on the James River, but highly, highly recommend it to anybody.
Really? Now, when you say Williamsburg, are we talking about, I've seen the commercials since I was a kid. Are we talking about Colonial Williamsburg, that area?
That's it.
Oh, perfect.
That's it. First settlers in America arrived there.
Hey, that's where Plymouth Rock is?
I can't answer that.
Huh.
I did not see Plymouth Rock that I know of, but I did see a cannon that was a remnant on the 17th hole of the river course at Kingsmill, and the little ramp that I'm going to guess might have been rebuilt, but it's still, it fits the motive, the motive operandi.
Now, Kingsmill, of course, is or was host to an LPGA event for the longest time, correct?
For I think the past 19 or maybe 20 years, and this is the first year that let's just say due to technical difficulties, it's not taking place, but hopefully it'll be back, because I know that the girls on the LPGA just love that place. And it is a really, really good golf course. Like, it's a Pete Dye design. It ate my lunch the first time I played there. And maybe I was just too excited, but this time I didn't eat its lunch, but I certainly played a lot better and scored a lot better.
And you know what? That was your first time out playing golf at all this year, too. That trip, was it not? Like you hadn't striking a golf ball since what, last October, roughly, maybe November. When did you hit a golf ball
well,
last?
October when we went when I went to the Czech Republic. That was the last time.
Yeah.
And yes, but we did. We got to Richmond on Monday night, and we played Tuesday, 2 rounds Wednesday, and then Thursday was the river course.
And so that must have been just an amazing, experience just to get down there and see these courses. Were there any courses that you got to see that you hadn't seen prior?
Pretty much only I've been to Kingsmill before because my friend Tim MacArthur was working there as the golf sales manager, I guess, whenever I got to go there pre-COVID. And so it was his fault. I was too excited to play with him. That's why I played so bad that time. But yeah, so those were the only 2 that I had played. And they have another course there that's a Arnold Palmer design, the Plantation course, which if I was going to go there or recommend anybody to go there, and you hadn't played for a while, play the Plantation course first. It's a much more user-friendly golf course, let's say. Fun, big fairways, generous landing areas, nice greens, because once you get over to the river, you've got the diabolical dye greens. False fronts and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice. Nothing but trouble waiting for you no matter where you go.
Well, yeah, and if you go off the fairways too far on the Plantation course, you can be in some deep stuff, and they have some very deep ravines, and so yeah, it's a great world-class experience. I love the drive up to the main clubhouse registration area. Kind of reminds me of driving into Pinehurst, maybe on a smaller scale. But the clubhouse is there. Awesome breakfast in Elements, where you got this huge buffet. It's reasonably priced, omelet stand, and you're overlooking the James River when you're having your breakfast and the sun coming up. And of course, the sun comes up all the time, no matter what, on a golf course, right?
That's right. It's always sunny on a golf course.
Yeah, and then the check-in is right there. The food in the I think it's called Eagles, right beside the pro shop. Awesome, great atmosphere, lots of fun, and you just step out of there and you're on the golf course.
Oh, I mean, I gotta be honest. I mean, you had me at omelet bar. I mean, like give me an omelet. But no, I mean, that sounds like an amazing place. It sounds like your whole experience, and I saw your pictures on Instagram as well, or your stories. And you know what? I thought, you lucky son of a gun. I was so jealous. I'm thinking, oh, it looks wonderful down there. Just fun at every turning corner.
Yeah, and that's a very popular place and that's the kind of place that most people think of if they're going to go to that area. Right around the corner, we played Colonial Williamsburg, the Gold Course, Golden Horseshoe, which is number 43 in America as top golf courses. And my God, what an experience there! And it's right in the middle of Williamsburg, or Colonial Williamsburg, with the motif back from the area, the buildings, and oh my God, that was really something.
Oh, wow. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, just walking into the building is something else. And then when you're on, I guess, at the driving range near the first tee box, there's the backside of the Williamsburg Inn, and you just say, I want to stay there someday. We didn't do it on this trip, but yeah, and you've got I guess the par threes set that course apart from many of the others, because there's a lot of almost every elevated par three tee box. It looks down to a green. I guess there's a couple that look up, but surrounded by water, and it just gets the adrenaline going, right? I think I said in one of my posts that there's more ups and downs on this golf course than the toilet seat.
I remember that post on your story on Instagram. And of course, since we talk about Instagram, if anyone wants to see on Instagram, what's your user handle over there?
Oh, Traveling Golfer 23. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
Traveling Golfer 23. That's
I figured, since we're talking about Instagram and that and stories, might as well let them know, right?
Yeah. And there will be regular posts coming. I like to do stories when I travel, and then when I get back, I collect all my thoughts and make it something of a post that means something, as opposed to just posting.
Yeah, perfect. Now we're going to delve into maybe another time deeper into the Czech Republic and that whole experience. But you know what? Let's talk about the Czech Republic a little bit while we're at it. And we're talking about old things. Colonial Williamsburg. Well, that's pretty old, but the Czech Republic, that's a hell of a lot older. So
I always say that the history in the Czech Republic starts with 3 numbers and not 4.
That's perfect, because it's that old.
But before we leave Virginia, I would be remiss if I did not mention our stay in Richmond.
Okay.
Because again, that would be someplace that people would just drive right by and not even think about, the opportunities that is there for golf. And we were hosted by the Richmond CVB, or Convention and Visitors Bureau. And my God, they put us up in this funky boutique hotel with art everywhere when you come off the elevator, and your room had a picture or stained glass with a name on it. I think one of ours was Beatty. Anyways, and when we got there, we were very thirsty from our long drive, about 13 hours from Collingwood. And the Capital Ale House was like 2 blocks away. So that was like a real treat. And then I'll skip right to the last night in Richmond, because we found this boathouse on the James River that, oh my God, they had oysters. So I had oyster appetizers, beautiful clam chowder, another regular old fish dish, because I went right to dessert with more oysters.
Wow, that's a lot of oysters.
Oh my God, haven't had oysters. I can't remember the last time I had oysters. So anyways, but the golf there, and it's that much more inexpensive to play what I'm going to say is world-class golf. We started off at the Club of Innaterra, right beside a winery, which maybe we'll talk about Richmond in more detail another time. But we can get into the wineries. But the Club at Innaterra is a Reese Jones course, and it was our first round of the year. And you know what? It was perfect, because there's no gimmicks, there's no anything. The golf course is straight out in front of you. Pretty much every hole, you can see where not to go, where to go. Nice wide fairways, or generous. Greens, little tricky, undulating, but not too bad. So that was an awesome, and I think like the green fee rate is like $68.
Wow, that's a pretty good rate for golf courses of that ilk, I guess, is the we'll use for a adjective, I suppose. That's amazing. Like that's a great price.
And then we played the Belmont, And I'm not sure if it has golf course on the website. That just says Belmont, but it was an A.W. Tillinghast course from way back in 1917 that in 45 and 49 hosted PGA championships that Sam Snead and Ben Hogan won. And then something happened a little more modern day. They closed it down. I think the city took it over. Davis Love came in and recreated it as a, let's say, a city course that is operated, I think, by First Tee and the city. And the 12 holes that we played as real golf were awesome. Like, you're not playing a rinky-dink 12-hole all par threes or short par fours. These are all regular golf holes, and you know, it was amazing. They also have a 6-hole par three, and it's basically, well, First Tee is all about getting kids into the game or new golfers into the game, and that makes it, you know, very easy, very affordable. And you also have, I guess the new thing is these ginormous putting greens, where you can have little events on or just train or just practice. But it was quite an experience, I would say.
That sounds amazing. And I mean, you know what, to be able to experience a Tillinghast, you know, and have it as a First Tee golf course as well, that's actually like hard to even fathom. I mean, I love playing golf courses of that generation. You know, the architects back then were just you know, so good. There was so much character to their designs and whatnot. And I mean, that's amazing that and that was Richmond, the city of Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Yes.
Awesome. Like, it's great that they, you know, stepped in and they made that accessible.
Yes.
You know, where you hear so much nowadays about, well, a lot of municipal golf courses being shut down, cities actually closing them. So that's actually quite amazing. So yes. Are we okay to go into, oh, you got something else?
Well, we can't leave out, like, the whole reason that I went down there was to play Royal New Kent. Which, yes, if you've never heard of Michael Strantz, the most unique golf course, let's call him an artist, because he's way above, or was, unfortunately, he's no longer with us, taken away at a young age, but he is, oh, his golf courses are like works of art. And I can't get out of my mind, if you've never played one, and if you have played Tobacco Road in North Carolina, that's probably his most unique design in my mind, because I did not get to play Royal New Kent because it was 9 degrees, rainy and windy, and that just wasn't going to happen. So Tobacco Road, or for Myrtle Beachers, Caledonia, True Blue were once original Michael Strantz designs. Now they had to modify them to make them easier, because Mike Strantz design courses are tough. As a matter of fact, Royal New Kent was voted one of the toughest golf courses in America. So I don't know why I was so anxious to play it, other than with Mike Strantz, you have a love-hate relationship. You either love him or you hate him. And I love his golf courses. So.
You know what? I haven't had the privilege or pleasure of playing any of his courses. But I mean, you know, you talk about True Blue and you talk about Caledonia and Tobacco Road. Those are all golf courses that I am quite familiar with. You know, and I'm sure that many of our listeners, you know, they've probably heard of those same golf courses as well. So that was Royal New Kent.
Royal New Kent, and my friend Tim MacArthur is now the GM there. We did go for a ride. We did ride the whole 18, and it was kind of fun on some of the holes, because there are a lot of blind shots. There's ravines, there's ups and downs. You just never know what you're going to see on the next hole. except on some of the blind holes, they have these things called the beacon of hope.
The beacon of hope.
And that's your target.
Oh, I like it.
So the one thing that most people don't get is that with Strant's courses is that what you see in front of you is not as bad as it looks once you get over it.
Right. Excellent.
And the operative word is getting over it, because if you're a shitty golfer, you will hate it. Those beacons won't mean anything.
I mean, you could aim at them, but I mean, it could be like an Iraqi Scud missile from the first Desert Storm, where, you know what, just because you're aiming at it doesn't mean it's going to hit it.
I think some of those Iraqi Scud missiles might have landed there and created some of the environment that you have to get over.
Oh, I love it. So big, massive bunkers, and just, you know, I'm gonna have to look up this golf course. I gotta look it up.
They can't be too massive, these bunkers, because there's only 105 of them.
Oh, only 105. Well, hell, there's room for at least another like 75, I would say 80.
There is so much crap in between the holes that it's almost not funny. So if you're a really shitty golfer, you might want to get some rounds under your belt before you go there.
Yeah. Or maybe even not ruin your vacation and maybe not have a look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember playing Tobacco Red one time, and on the, I think it was the 10th or 11th hole, the bunker was so big and so deep, we lost a guy.
That is one big deep bunker.
So anyhow, that's a must play, and I need to go back there, if for nothing else, just to do that, play that, and have some oysters.
Perfect. Okay, so did we dare venture across the Atlantic Ocean?
Let's do it.
Okay, so now we're going to transcend ourselves and transport ourselves across the Atlantic, and we're going to go into Europe and the Czech Republic.
Yes, and in all fairness, not to bore all our listeners, we will probably just touch on the Czech Republic this time, and we should probably redo this and give them their just desserts, because they deserve it. It was like one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in Europe.
Amazing. So there you hear it, folks. For everyone listening today, we have a date. So we're going to have a special Czech Republic edition of T-Box Chatter in the future.
Yes, and you can read all about my adventures on the travelinggolfer.net. They're just go under the destinations box. I think we have a special one just for the Czech Republic, but you know, the city of Prague is where most people are going to land, and there is a reason why it's always in the top 5 most visited cities in Europe. Cobblestone streets, old town Prague is just amazing. They have the UNESCO sites. So there's 1,000 of the world's UNESCO sites in the Czech Republic.
That is crazy. Like, that's, again, you know, for you know, being someone that hasn't really seen much of the world and that hasn't traveled, and being from a relatively young country that Canada is, I mean, to have that many UNESCO heritage sites in one city, let alone a country, is just unbelievable. And is it Prague that has the nickname because of all the steeples? Is it Prague?
Well, I think one of them is the City of Angels.
Oh, okay.
You're referring to the City of 100 Spires.
Oh, 100 Spires. Okay.
And I'm going to say that there's probably 500, but who's counting?
Someone must have. I mean, that'd be like counting dimples on a golf ball. Like, does someone actually count to see if there are 392 dimples on a Pro V1? I
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but no, that's crazy. I mean, so on a scale of 1 to 10, for those that've never been to Prague, where would you put it, as a must visit, or the Czech Republic in general?
It really depends on what a person is looking for. As I said, I think before we even started it, if you need to have an ocean as part of your vacation, then it's not going to rank very high. But if you want, just, I don't know, if you were going over there with a significant other, you're not going to find a much more romantic kind of a destination in a big city. Cobblestone streets and all of these historical monuments, let's say, all over, everywhere you're walking, and it's safe and it's friendly and it's inexpensive relative to most other parts. So the other thing that when we get into detail, we'll go into the fact that there's 8 great spa towns in Europe. 3 of them are in the Czech Republic.
Wow.
And these places are beautiful. Like, we stayed in the Grand Poop Hotel. And I told the guy there, I said, I'm sorry, but I can't call this the Grand Poop. It's spelled P-U-P-P. So to me, it's the Grand Pup. And oh my God, this place is massive. We could call it opulent, but without the, let's say, the stuck-up atmosphere. It was very friendly. Everything was casual.
Really down to earth.
With 5-star Michelin restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then you just look down the street and you got colorful streets. You got a canal running down the middle. Yeah. So medical tourism is a big thing in the Czech Republic. I think something like 880,000 people went there for medical tourism, or for the, I guess, spa environment. And so there's the medical tourism side, there's regular spa type services. And the one thing that I found after we left is that they have beer spas.
Oh, beer spas.
Oh,
sign me up.
Yes. And speaking of beer, Pilsner was born in the Czech Republic.
So that's right, folks. Next time that you have a Pilsner, you can thank the Czech Republic for that.
Yes. And apparently, so there was Pilsner Urquell, which is the most popular, and that's the one that started the whole Pilsner thing. I think it was like 1740 or something like that. We'll confirm that for the next time. There's Budvar, which I think was my favorite of the beers. And we did do a lot of sampling. And that was somewhat similar to Budweiser.
Okay.
And rumor has it that Budweiser stole their formula way back in the day. And I don't know if the legal suit is still going on, but anyways.
Oh, wow.
There is so many things to talk about in the Czech Republic, and I would look forward to doing that with you whenever.
Oh, you know what? And we're going to do that because, you know what, I don't want to really get into the medical tourism aspect of things and have you explain what that is, because I think that would be best served when we do a special Czech Republic edition of T-Box Chatter.
I think that's a good name for it, the Czech Republic edition.
Hey, well, we'll use it.
All right.
So I imagine you have a lot of, you're going to be busy now this time of the year, getting things going for yourself on the golfing side of things over here and on the traveling golfer side of things.
Well, and we're getting ready for our 12th IAGTO North American Golf Tourism Convention in Reno at the end of June. So that's keeping me busy too.
Oh, you're a busy man these days.
I'm looking forward to seeing so many of my friends from around the world that I haven't seen for, I used to see these people 2 or 3 times a year at the various conventions, because with IAGTO, which is the International Association of Golf Tour Operators, for anybody who doesn't know, we used to put on as many as 7 events from Asia, Europe, North America, Mexico, Japan, Spain, Ireland. So I would see these people at these various conventions, and now I haven't seen any of them other than on Instagram.
Oh goodness. So that in itself is gonna be just a nice breath of fresh air, just seeing these faces all over again, and reacquainting.
Yes.
After, again, the last couple of years of, dare I say misery, but
yes.
we'll
Oh
go
my
through
God.
misery,
Yes.
So that being said, I mean, again, I know you're a busy man, you have all that going on, and I just want to thank you for taking the time out to come on to T-Box Chatter today.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It was great, and I look forward to round 2.
You and I both, and I'm looking forward to getting up there and flogging some flies with you too.
Let's do that too, and maybe hitting the little white pill around.
Oh, that sounds very therapeutic.
It does. It does.
All right. So I again thank you so much, Claudio, and we'll be talking real soon. And yep, we're gonna make this happen with a special Virginia episode, a Czech Republic episode. We're gonna have people knowing the traveling golfer, and they're gonna be hearing it out the yin yang.
That's not like a fart, is it?
No. Much classier. Much classier than a fart.
Okay, because I'm a classy guy. I got lots of third class in me, but I got plenty of it.
Jeez. And you know what? And down the road too, we're going to talk about wine. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, spirits, whatever you want to talk about. More beer when we talk about the Czech Republic again. I mean, the rules are oyster.
Even talk like Czech Republic has a wine region.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, I thought about your one article that can be seen on Traveling Golfer, wine castles, and I can't remember what the rest of the title is. Wine castles and golf. Yeah. Golf. I mean, that should have been pretty easy. I mean,
go figure.
It's set up on a tee.
With castles, you can even stay in. Imagine walking out your room of your hotel, which is a castle, and being on the golf course.
That would be crazy. I mean, the imagination just sort of kind of, gets away on you a little bit thinking about it.
Double bogeys they're not so bad anymore.
No, exactly. So again, thank you so much. And everyone, please check out travelinggolfer.net for all your travel needs and some great articles about traveling, golf, and everything in between as far as, destinations go. So Claudio, again, thank you so much. And you have yourself a wonderful day and stay safe. And we'll see you on the next tee.
Sounds good. I like that. Next tee. See you later.
See you later. And we're out.